Welcome to Carver Arena, Peoria, Illinois. It's a Missouri Valley Conference game of the week this afternoon. It's the I-74 series as the Bradley Braves get set to host their rivals, the Redbirds of Illinois State. Greetings, everyone. Great to be back with the Catman, Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman with you. Well, unfortunately, Dave, these two teams headed in opposite directions as we're winding down the regular season, but Illinois State, a big winner last month against the Bradley Braves. We should still have a great matchup here today.
Well, good to be with you. It's the war on 74 that they like to call it. Illinois State dealing with a coaching change, have an interim coach. Bradley coming off a loss to Southern Illinois. This is a game Bradley has to have at home. And for Illinois State, they played really well in a loss the other night in their first game under interim coach Brian Jones. They hopefully can bring that type of momentum again to this matchup.
And the guy that was leading the way on Tuesday instead for the better part of his season has been Antonio Reeves.
Right, Antonio Reeves is averaging just over 20 points a game. This guy has range. He can beat you off the dribble. He can beat you in transition. He is a big-time scorer. Any list of the best players in this league, Antonio Reeves is right in the thick of it.
And for the Bradley Braves, Terry Roberts has been one of the huge additions to Brian Wardle's team this year.
Yeah, Terry averaging almost 15 points a game. He can pop you for 20, but he also understands his role as a primary ball handler. He can step up the passing lane. He can finish on the break. He leads Bradley in scoring. They need him at his very best in this rivalry matchup today.
It is the Redbirds, it is the Braves here at Carver Arena. Coming up, we'll have the starting lineups and opening tip of our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week.
We love our new apartment.
Great kitchen, open floor plan.
But there's not much privacy. At least Geico makes bundling our renters and car insurance easy.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Why is it so funny? Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
The Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By Prairie Farms, farmer-owned, locally produced since 1938. By Explore St. Louis. Start planning your visit today at ExploreSt.Louis.com. And by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Peoria, Illinois is the site of our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week this weekend. Bradley Braves taking on their rivals, the Redbirds of Illinois State. Crowd still filing in, and folks, closed captioning for today's game is made possible by College Hunks, Hauling Junk and Moving St. Louis, which provides St. Louis stress removing and junk removal services. Dave Kaplan and Scott Warman with you as we get set for this meeting between the Bradley Braves and the Illinois State Redbirds. And Cap, why don't we get you your keys to the game? Presentation of SSM Health Physical Therapy, the official physical therapy partner of the MVC and Arch Madness.
Well, for Illinois State, who's going to clean the windows? They did win the board battle the other night, that narrow loss. Who's stepping up after Cy Chapman went down? Somebody has to always make sure they're on the glass. And then a history lesson. This is a great rivalry. Are they going to be able to take it for the second straight year, all four in a row then? And for Bradley, you want to steal their hope right from the get-go and then enjoy a great dinner. Well, guys, we're on a business trip for lunch. We win, boy, dinner will taste really good.
You're looking forward to that too, Len?
Yes, I am.
Let's get to today's starting lineups. It is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. For the Bradley Braves, we see a little bit of a change as Jason Kent is not even available in the game today for Brian Wardle. So Ville Tepanainen will get the start. He's been playing really well here of late.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players to watch in this league. I was talking to him before the game because I visited his home country of Finland. I was in Helsinki. We were talking about Helsinki. I said, basketball, Finland? He said, there's a few of us there. It may not be like it is here, but he said, we've got our share of good hoopers. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen is the biggest name in the NBA, but Billy can make shots. Billy can knock down threes. He's unselfish. He defends, and he'll go inside and get rebounds. So I'm a big fan of how he played.
Brian Jones, now the interim coach for the remainder of the season of Illinois State. Oh, by the way, a grad of Northern Iowa back in 1994.
Correct. He said, I just can't beat Northern Iowa. I'm like 0-9 in my life again.
He did tell us that.
But we talked to him about Dan Muller. Look, Dan did a really good job here. Dan was a great representative of this university. He had a lot of success. He also had 4 great years as a player. We wish him nothing but the best going forward. Dan Muller is a class act, always great to deal with. And, you know, unfortunate things happen in this profession as coaching. But Brian and he have talked every day. I'm sure Dan's probably watching and cheering deep down for his guys. Those are his players out there.
Absolutely.
So we wish Dan all the best. I thought he's a really good dude and a
Brian,
really good coach.
It's hard to believe, sorry, Cap, is now already in his 7th season here in Peoria. So things looking a little different. That's right. Bradley going a little retro here against the rivals as they're wearing the red jerseys against Illinois State. Fleming inside and hits our first shot of the afternoon.
Well, really nice pass and a great cut along the baseline. Bam, find him, gather yourself, and get the deuce.
There's the cut through and just missed, and a block, and we have a foul called. Liam McChesney there, number 13, from north of the border in British Columbia.
Yeah, he's started to develop and come along. He's just got, you see how skinny he is. He is a really talented kid. Just got to continue to live in the weight room, eat as much as you can. Boy, I wish I had that problem.
Me too.
And get a little bit stronger because he's a very talented kid.
This young man, very talented, and you can see him building up as well. Rink Mass to the Bradley Braves as he hits 1 of 2 free throws.
So I've had Bradley a handful of times today, this year. Every time I've had him, that guy has been a huge factor. His footwork has gotten so much better as his career has gone on. He's a really solid interior player. McChesney had his hands full with him.
Fleming spots up with a wide open look.
He's going up.
And there's McChesney again.
Yeah, see, physically, he's in a really tough spot today. Really tough. Rink Mast has been that guy that has been living in the weight room. You see the definition in the shoulders. The footwork's gotten so much better. And inside, they call advantage, disadvantage. You're going to push a guy, 2 hands, automatic whistle.
Number 9, and shooting 48% from beyond the arc in the last 9 games. Last touch by Illinois State, 5 ticks left on the shot clock.
It was funny when I said to him, I've been in Helsinki. You have? Wow, not a lot of people go visit my own country. Yeah.
Winding down Ville. Here comes Antonio Reeves.
This kid's all league, really good player.
Passed the 1,000-point mark earlier this month with a 34-point performance against Evansville. Run out for the Braves. Connor Hickman, the freshman from Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah, really nice move to cut across the lane, switch to the left hand, the kiss.
Antonio just off the mark, and we've known this for the 7 years. You're going to play Bradley Braves basketball. You're going to play defense under Brian Wardle's system.
Yes.
Off the turnover, strong on the drive, and it's blocked.
What a play by Tavanainen. I like they're letting them play. You can hear the crowd yelling, getting them off them. I like that they let them play.
Hickman lost the handle. Somehow retains possession. Mast.
Rink Mast. Got to be a candidate for most improved player in this conference. He is really becoming a factor.
Fleming. And he'll head to the line.
Oh, watch the steal. And then here they come to the other end, and a really good job right there by Tavanainen. Doesn't foul, makes the play, and then they get the ball to Rink Mast. And he could set his feet, he could spot up, bang. Got my son at home watching the game, Brett. He's all locked in. He loves college hoops. Who do you want to win, Brett? I don't care. I just want a good game.
Fleming 66% from the charity stripe. Illinois State, as Kat mentioned, coming off that heartbreaking loss against Northern Iowa. A lot of emotions after Dan Muller decided not to stick with the team the rest of the season. We talked to Brian Jones, and he said that was all emotion. Now that that's kind of gone past us here a little bit, he's intrigued to see what comes out here this afternoon against their rivals.
Right, in the aftermath, you know, of Dan being let go and then deciding I'm done, Brian's going to finish it out. You're playing on adrenaline and emotion, and
can't get the finish. Quick hands. Good job by Illinois State getting back on defense. Schmidt trying to get position. And he traveled. Just underway here at Carver Arena. It's the Braves and the Redbirds, our Valley Game of the Week.
I earned 3% cash back at drugstores with Chase Freedom Unlimited. So I got cards for birthdays, holidays, graduations. I'm covered for everything. Which reminds me, thank you for driving me to the drugstore.
Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
The QX60 totally fits my vibe. This is a bossy automobile. Oh, wow, wireless charging, fabulous. With this, you can just pop your phone right here. That's so fantastic. Massage settings, this just in, relaxing. The lumbar, yes, please. Oh, yeah, then you could do all your phone calls here.
This is Paul Herzog. He is the longtime public address announcer here at Carver Arena. His 660th and final game against Illinois State for the Bradley Braves. Congratulations to Paul on an incredible career. And I'm jealous, he's retiring and moving down to Florida, Cat.
How about that? And so he picked game 660 because he loved Willie Mays and he hit 660 homers. Here's an even funnier stat. Game number 110, I was coaching against Bradley for Northern Illinois. I was standing right out here.
And what happened in that game?
We lost 83-64. We got the ever-living H beaten out of us.
We digress to the Valley standings right now, and there you see the Ramblers with the half-game lead over Northern Iowa, Missouri State. I mean, we got a great final week of the regular season, and for a lot of these teams, I should say, they have at least one makeup game, so we're going to see a lot of basketball in the final week of the regular season.
We are. I'm going to have Drake at Valparaiso on Wednesday. Excited for that one. We just had Loyola at Valparaiso. Went down to a 2-point game.
Watched you guys. In fact, Valpo took Loyola down to the final seconds in both their matchups this
double
year.
Overtime in the first one.
Exactly. And now Bradley with the lead at 6-3, and both these teams struggling, Cap, a little bit offensively to get a little bit into their flow of things.
They are. It's a sloppy game so far. There's a nice crowd in here, and there's a good buzz in the arena.
And we got an offensive foul.
Yep.
Ari Boya.
Yeah, he gave a shove, trying to clear some space.
Boy, his senior season, gosh, this time fly. I remember when he first came to the Braves 4 years ago. And so much high hopes for this young man. At 7 foot plus, just has dealt with so many injuries throughout his career here in Peoria. Illinois State struggling to buy a bucket. Leons. Schmidt gets the rebound.
Bradley 2 of 7 with 3 turns. ISU 1 of 7 with 2 turns.
Stolen by Televised. The opening minute is the last time the Redbirds have connected on a field goal. Roberts in and out.
Well, somebody take the lid off this basket.
I'm telling you. Freeman, who should check in now. He's been dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury. Came up gimpy in the game against Northern Iowa, but obviously back in the lineup and finally breaks the ice for Illinois State over 5 minutes without a bucket.
Boy, did he do a nice job, though, like a running back, changing lanes. Bam, quick cut, boom, get myself to the backboard. Sweet finish.
Leons from the corner. Freeman spots up, drains the triple.
5 in a row.
Redbirds take the lead at the 13:37 mark. Good pressure defense again by Illinois State, and Schmidt gets the steal. Reeves in transition. Strong hits the 3, and Brian Wardle has to call a timeout.
Illinois State went 5 minutes without a hoop. Now they've got an 8-0 run going, and good to see. You get that freedom. That's something that Dan Muller has instilled in these guys. Hey, man, you get your shot, pull up and let's go. If you miss, take the next one. They don't play tight, and boom, you get Freeman right there for the shot.
Defense creating offense.
Big time. There's the finish on the drive through the lane. Then he knocks down the 3. There's what you're talking about. Schmidt comes up with the steal. Here we come. Open look. Knock it down. Brian Wardle says, guys, settle down. What are we doing here? The lid will get loosened. He may miss shots. He doesn't like that they're sloppy.
Not getting back on defense, letting those wide open shots go.
Correct.
Like the one that Freeman just drained. Brian's team last field goal was at the 17-11 mark, so it's been over 4 minutes since they've hit a field goal. Checking back in. Oh, another turnover. And now foul picked up by Mikey Howell.
Yeah, I have a good friend of mine who's an Illinois State grad who's watching the game. He just texted me. My friend John Schultz said, can we get Lou Stefanovic, Hank Quarterly, and Rick Lamb back in the game, please? They graduated 35 years ago. You're old.
He just called him out.
Those were good players, man. I had to coach against those guys.
Inja. Reeves finds a wide open look, and he hits his first field goal of the afternoon from beyond the arc.
You know, Brian Jones talked to us about, okay, we had the emotion of everything that went on with Dan, who the players loved. How are we going to be here today? Well, you make a few shots and get your sea legs under you, that emotion starts to carry you then.
And Njai picks up the foul. Roberts going to get a breather as Connor Hickman checks in for him. Chesney comes away with the steal on the pass. Redbirds playing some terrific defense here. Ooh, in and out.
That was almost down.
And on the spin, trying to get the shot off. Njai, first rejection. And we'll go the other way with a foul. 12-0 run right now for the Redbirds as they're on the road and trying to get the season series sweep in the I-74 series.
We love our new apartment,
Great kitchen, open floor plan.
but there's not much privacy. At least Geico makes bundling our renters and car insurance easy.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Why is it so funny? Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Redbirds on a 12-0 run right now as they have the lead. 11:35 remaining in our first half of play. Time now for today's Birdwatch. It's presented by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. And we see a couple of them here this afternoon in Antonio Reeves and Terry Roberts. Isaiah Mosley can really fill the cup.
Oh, man, can he ever. That guy's a big-time scorer. If I had to vote for the winner of the Player of the Year, I'd give it to Lucas Williamson at Loyola because of what he does everywhere, defensively, leadership, and as an offensive player. But you can pick any of these guys. They're all really talented basketball players.
I see Terry as well as Antonio Reeves. Great Southern Bank and the Valley are proud to recognize the league's Player of the Year with the Larry Bird Trophy. Chesney trying to get it inside to Jai, and come the Braves. It's been almost 6 minutes since they hit their last field goal. Finally breaking the ice is Zeke Montgomery.
Now, Illinois State has got to take care of the basketball. McChesney can't put himself in a situation. You got to ask yourself, okay, if I make that pass and he catches it, what can he do with it? And it was a very tough completion.
Yeah, already 7 turnovers for the Braves, and we're just reaching the midway mark of this opening half. Catch and shoot. And Illinois State, nice job on the boards. Jai inside. Oh, the rims are none too kind to anyone this afternoon. You know, they're supposed to play a hockey game here tonight, but these rims are about as frozen as the ice.
Yes. No wonder my feet are so cold. There's ice underneath.
That's right, buddy.
You look at Mosley. This is a guy who can score from three. I mean, 43% for three is outstanding. He makes his free throws. He can shoot the basketball in the mid-range game, and he wants the ball in a pressure situation. Outstanding player.
Good ball rotation. Hickman gets the wide open look. Mast on the high post. Going up against Schmidt. With the left hand, Rink Mast.
See, it's just a tough matchup for McChesney. It is. I mean, Rink Mast is a man inside.
Freeman. Kick out. There's McChesney. Leon's in transition.
Let's go back to Rink Mast. I mean, this kid from where he was when he first got to school to where he is today, he's asking for the ball and he's thinking, I'm scoring it now. He turns the corner on Schmidt. The footwork, look at the ability to switch hands. That kid has become such a force for Bradley.
Finland and the Netherlands out on the floor for the Braves.
I want those recruiting trips.
Illinois State basketball. You coached, as you mentioned. Isn't it amazing? In fact, when Brian Wardle first took over the program, remember, he basically cleaned house, and he had at least 2 or 3 guys that were a part of, I think, 11 recruits his first year here that were from overseas. The game has just become so worldwide now.
It's amazing. I'm talking to a friend of mine the other day who calls me. I said, where are you? It sounds like the connection's a little odd. Oh, he said, I'm in Belgium right now. I'm looking for a player.
Wow.
Belgium?
Crazy, isn't it?
I'm used to going to the Chicago Public League.
My, how things have changed.
Yes.
Hickman with another wide open look. And Tavanainen, nice job getting the offensive board, but couldn't stay in bounds.
And I really like when you watch Tavanainen. He just turned to Hickman. He's like, keep shooting it. That's what leadership is, because he got a good, clean look. He missed it. Keep shooting it.
Schmidt with the dump down. McChesney with the finish.
Yeah, see, Rink Mast isn't in the game. McChesney does a really good job getting a good seal. Toss over the top. Boom.
Great job, Hickman, finding Boyle with the position down low.
McChesney's a little winded right now. He scored. Son, you got to get back the other end. You got a 7-footer to guard.
Strong. Cut off with the cut to the glass. Strong for 3. Ho-ho! Bottom of the net.
Wow. Buries it as the shot clock expires.
Roberts tries to answer, and he does.
Yep, good job by Ari Boya to clear some space. You got to have that in your mind. Hey, if I get a sliver of daylight, I'm going up.
Freeman, nicely done. Boy, he loves the dribble drive, doesn't he?
He does. He likes playing what we call downhill.
Now we're starting to see the offense get a little bit more in their flow here, Cap.
Yep, guys are getting some clean looks.
Hickman finds Boya again. Double team. Ari comes away with it. Off.
Good job again by Illinois State defensively.
It's like Lewis might be a little injured. And out of bounds. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a look at Kendall Lewis when we come back as he and the Redbirds on the road down the Interstate 74 have the 8-point lead here at Carver.
If you think you'll never find the car or truck you really want, think again. We'll find it so you can drive it at every Uptrain Auto Group dealer. New inventory is in stock, inbound, and arriving every day. That's right, the pipeline is loaded with incoming inventory at every Uptrain location. Hundreds Hundreds of customers have reserved theirs, and so can you. And this month, your tax refund is your down payment. Plus, lock in your record low interest rate and get more for your trade. It's easy to find it and drive it at every off-trend Auto Group dealer.
Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
6:07 remaining in our opening half of our Valley Game of the Week. Redbirds and Braves from Peoria. Valley fans, when making plans to attend Arch Madness 2022 in downtown St. Louis, please be aware of the current Enterprise Center policy, which requires all fans to provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 72 hours of your game. Fans are also required to wear masks except when eating, drinking. For more information regarding health and safety measures, please visit mbc-sports.com/Arch updates. We mentioned Kendall Lewis with the little Gippy right there before the timeout, and he is over at the bench area of Illinois State. We'll keep an eye on him. Illinois State, meanwhile, started out the game 1 for 7 and now 8 for their last 12 from the field.
Yeah, and McChesney's going to get a breather, which he needed. He was gassed. It's funny to me to listen to fans at one end, let them play, and then at the other end, call the foul. Yeah, you're not biased. I was the same way as a coach. I thought every ref was out to get us.
And a wide open passes up the 3 attempt. Montgomery. Fleming on the break. And his call for the foul.
I remember having a game we played at Ball State, and I'm yelling at this official. He was a great official. He went on to do the Final Four. Tom Clark. You had it in for us from day one. And he's looking at me, and finally, he saw me as I was walking to the bus. He was leaving. He goes, "You do know you lost 93-68.
Oh, Antonio Reeves. Gotta blame it on somebody, right?
Exactly. That was your fault.
Roberts on Lewis. Roberts, double team, nice, damn! And the finish by Leons.
Well, Malavai does a nice job setting up that cut along the baseline, but the pass has to be there, and it was right on the money.
Fleming does a flyby on 7-9 and can't finish. Here come the Braves, down 26-17. Terry's going to go to line to shoot 3 free throws.
Yeah, watch the play here. Really good job. Pull up, pop, knock it down. Just patient, patient, patient. And then there's the dish. As Malavai runs the baseline, pass was right there.
Pull up from 20.
How about that? Such a different game today.
It is.
10, 15, 20 years ago.
Roberts had 22 in the game for Bradley earlier this season against Illinois State. Leads the conference, by the way, in assists per game and second in steals. And as we talked about at the top, has just been a huge difference for Brian Wardle after, remember last year, they were struggling at the end of the season. They've turned things around. In fact, before that loss against Southern Illinois, they were the hottest team in the Valley.
Yeah, they were rolling. You run into those nights where you're like the little engine that can't quite get up. Oh, we're within how many? 2, 3? And bam, they hit a shot, you're right back down.
Folks, MVC student athletes are positively impacting the communities where they live by sharing views and fostering a climate for change for future Valley pioneers. To learn more about mobilizing voices for change, visit mvc-sports.com/OneValley. Roberts on the drive.
Well, what a finish. Great job to slither across the lane.
What a dish by Freeman and the finish by Schmidt. Wow.
Big man runs, you better reward him, let him eat.
Got to be impressed with the counterpunch there by Illinois State. Mast lost the handle. Reeves going to drive. Bucket and the foul.
Watch the slithering Roberts get himself a really tough shot, and he finishes it. Here he comes, slither, cut around, hit it off the backboard, and then Schmidt says, hold on a second. I'll make it an easy one. Slam.
Presenting the new Cocomelon Burst Kids toothbrush. A whole lot of fun, made just for kids.
Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Dave Kemplin, Scott Warman, Jeff Graham, and our entire crew from Carver Arena as the Redbirds have the lead with 3:14 remaining in our first half of play. MVC fans, the conference has announced the single-session ticket discount offers for Arch Madness 2022. The Family Fun Pack, American Heroes, and Hoops Hooky, to name a few offers, can be found at archmadness.com/tickets. Get your tickets today. Antonio Reeves set to attempt a free throw here. Right now, Illinois State at their largest lead at 9. They have yet to hit the double-figure mark in their lead on the road against the Bradley Braves.
Illinois State's doing a really good job defensively. That's what I've been most impressed with.
Mast.
Cut. Great cut.
Freeman with 7 points off the bench for Coach Jones's Redbirds. And Reeves on the drive, and they're going to say he's fouled. And Brian Wardle does not like the call at all.
Mike O'Neill having a discussion with Brian Wardle. Mike's dad, Tom O'Neill, is here.
Yeah, we were talking to him earlier.
He is finally retired after 3,300 plus games as a college official.
Called a lot of big games over the years.
He did, Final Fours, and amazing. And he's here with Mike's kids, who are his grandkids, and they're here. And I said to Mike, you nervous? Dad's in the stands now. That guy's a legend. He said, yeah, and I'm going to have to hear about every call I missed on the way home.
Ed Crenshaw and Scott Tierney are other officials this afternoon. Largest lead of the half for Illinois State. Last from the outside. Hands. And this Illinois State defense cap is just suffocating.
And they've done a really nice job defensively.
Hands.
Bang. What great ball movement, though, by Bradley. Best offensive ball movement they've had today.
Folks, stay tuned for our halftime report, sponsored by State Farm Insurance, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Freeman, mid-range jumper. Come the Braves, pushing it up. Hits the three, and the Braves on a roll.
Defender was there, and then he left. And Roberts looked and went, oh, I got an open look.
3-point lead for ISU. Braves fans on their feet. Strong, partially blocked, and a foul is called.
That's a bailout foul. Illinois State catches a real break there. You cannot commit a foul in that situation. But watch the ball movement. They just do a really good job at taking it side to side and then swing it. Malavai's there, and Malavai nothing but the bottom of the net. And then the defender, just never recovers. What are you doing? Come on, man, you gotta hustle back and get a hand up. He stumbled, he stood there, and he went, I'm not gonna get back there. That one won't be good for him in the film set.
So what you're telling me is this is why coaches lose their hair, right?
That's why I've got no hair.
Wow, that too, not making free throws.
I know Dan Muller's watching this game. I know he's cheering his butt off for his guys.
Absolutely.
I guarantee he's sitting there going, dude, what are you doing? Dan was a great defender. Great.
One of the greatest in Valley history.
Yes.
Masked for the tie. Ooh, they're going to call that on McChesney.
I'd love to see that one again.
Too.
Well, there's the shot by Mast. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's just two dudes going for the basketball. McChesney put his hand like, what'd I do?
Bruno Sissoko checks in for Illinois State. One-point game, 40 seconds remaining in this first half, and Brian Jones wants to burn his first half timeout. Well, Bradley had struggled offensively, but man, they have turned things around here in the second half of this opening half of play.
They have. They've been better with their half-court ball movement. It's gotten them some open looks. Right back in the ballgame.
Folks, when the MVC TV network crews travel to campus, it considers these properties home. These hotels consistently support the conference and its 10-member institutions. Please call or visit the websites of these properties or making plans to follow your favorite team away from home. And thanks to all of these folks who have helped us throughout the entire season on the Missouri Valley Conference television network as we're winding down to the final week of the regular season before Arch Madness in downtown St. Louis gets underway on March the 3rd. Bradley right now that the 8-0 run has made it just a 1-point deficit.
It is so much fun sitting here with you courtside, watching this game, talking basketball. It's nothing better.
And you have to love the energy from the fans here at Carver Arena.
There's a really good electricity in the building.
Bradley goes to a zone, and Freeman spots up. Rebound taken by Tavanainen.
Yeah, Rinkmass stepped out, didn't block the shot, but he makes you alter it, and it was just a click long.
Mast for the lead. Rebound. And the Redbirds will go into the locker room at the break with the 1-point lead at 32-31, Cap.
Yeah, Bradley was able to settle down and get back in the ball game, but Illinois State gave you great effort. I thought probably 16 of the 20 minutes they were really good defensively. They've got to lock in defensively if they're going to spring this upset here.
Ryan Jones in his second game as the interim head coach of the Illinois State Redbirds, looking for the season series sweep. Right now, 20 minutes in the books at Carver, and they have the 1-point lead over the Braves.
Pack your bags and cash back. Earn 5% on travel purchased through Chase with Chase Freedom Unlimited.
You do this for everyone?
I try. Excuse me, ma'am. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
The QX60 totally fits my vibe. Wireless charging, fabulous. Massage settings, this just in.
Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By Prairie Farms, farmer-owned, locally produced since 1938. By Explore St. Louis. Start planning your visit today at explorestlouis.com. And by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Welcome to our halftime report, sponsored by State Farm. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your own surprisingly great rate on car insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. All right, Cap, let's take a look at our first half highlights. It's made possible by Lowe's St. Louis, and we featured the two guys we featured in the open of the show.
Yeah, when you look at Antonio Reeves, you know you're looking at one of the premier scorers in college basketball, and definitely one of the best in the Missouri Valley, and he got going. He took his time. I thought his first shot was a little rushed, and then, boom, I'm going to slash to the basket. I'm going to hit a perimeter shot, and you have to send more than one defender at him because he's so hard to guard. Terry Roberts, same deal. He's a guy that can beat you off the dribble. He can knock it down from three, and then he got that opportunity in the corner where the defender never helped and came back. And boom, there he is slithering through the lane for a really tough layup. And then that three-pointer in the corner, I thought that was a key in the run that Bradley made late in the game, or late in the first half.
Folks want to experience the laid-back luxury in the heart of downtown St. Louis, adjacent to Ballpark Village. Visit Lowe'sHotels.com/St. Louis. That's LOEWS hotels.com/St. Louis to book your hotel room this afternoon. Well, Cap, both these teams getting off to a slow start from an offensive standpoint, but really got more into the rhythm as that first half continued, especially Bradley. That was really important to get that run before the end of the half because they were down by as many as 9.
Yeah, they were down. Illinois State went to the free throw line to make it a double-digit lead, and I thought most of the first half, if I'm watching from an Illinois State perspective, defensively they were really good.
Absolutely.
But the last 3 minutes they relaxed, they got tired. Bradley made a little bit of a run, and all of a sudden from 9, we got a 1-point game.
Yeah, their bigs might have to watch those fouls because they added some of those up towards the end of the half too.
They did, and I thought McChesney got tired.
Yeah.
You could see that's when you battle Rinkmass and Ari Boya and all these guys, and then it's up and down, you get exhausted quick.
So the Braves trail the Redbirds 32-31 at the break. More of our State Farm halftime report as we continue from Peoria. Halftime report sponsored by State Farm. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your own surprisingly great rate on car insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. Right now, it's time for today's profile. It's made possible by Arch Madness 2022 as MVC correspondent Kurt Pegler takes a look at Redbirds senior guard Josiah Strong.
Josiah Strong feels like he has two big roles on this Illinois State team. One is to be a solid scoring threat to help Antonio Reeves. The other is to be the guy that helps all the new transfers acclimate to a new team. He should know. He was in their shoes last year.
Part of it is because they respect me, obviously, because of my position on the team. And just being a transfer in itself, I kind of know exactly how it works, especially coming from a program where you had a big role and maybe switching your role, or a program where you had a smaller role. And transferring into the MVC is something, when you have people that have transferred before, it helps a lot.
Strong is one of 7 transfers on the Illinois State roster. He played at a junior college and a Division I school before coming to ISU. This is the first year he's played for the same school in consecutive years since high school.
It's a huge benefit for me because I'm more familiar with a program than I ever have been. Obviously, being able to transfer and adapt quick was something that I was able to do. It's a whole new feeling because I know the coaches, I know the personnel on the team, the league most importantly.
The shooting guard says he's a straight shooter when he mentors the players who transfer into the Redbird program.
Everything's more intense, school's more intense, social life, basketball. We take pride in our academics in the program. It takes some time to adjust, but when you got people that can kind of show you the way, it helps a lot.
For the Missouri Valley Conference, I'm Kurt Pegler.
Kurt, thanks, and tonight's profile is made possible by the 2022 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament. Make plans to attend the 32nd chapter of Arch Madness, March 3rd through the 6th at Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis. For more information, visit archmadness.com. Stay tuned. More of our State Farm halftime report from Peoria when we come back. Welcome back to Carver Arena as we continue with our halftime report sponsored by State Farm. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your own surprisingly great rate on car insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. All right, Dave Kaplan, let's take a look at our first half stats. A production of the Union Station St. Louis, the home of attractions like the St. Louis Aquarium and the St. Louis Wheel. You can do it all at Union Station. To see where it takes you, visit stlouisunionstation.com.
Well, look at the field goal percentage. You saw Illinois State get off to this eye-popping start. They hit 3 of their first 4 from beyond the arc. They're 5 of 7. That's what has them in this position. Turnovers are basically even. Points off turns goes Illinois State's way. Rebounding, though, Illinois State that was one of our keys. Who's going to clean the glass? They have got to get that in line, because if they don't do a better job on the glass, they will not win.
Yeah, Bradley, one of the better rebounding margin teams in the entire country. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half. Braves and Redbirds from Peoria.
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Moore, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. Get a quote and start saving. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
The QX60 totally fits my vibe. Wireless charging, fabulous. Massage settings, this just in.
The Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By Prairie Farms, farmer-owned, locally produced since 1938. By Explore St. Louis. Start planning your visit today at ExploreStLouis.com. And by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Crazy. Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman back with you. It's our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week from Carver Arena. The I-74 series between the Illinois State Redbirds and the Bradley Braves as we get set for the second 20 minutes of play here from Central Illinois. And Redbirds that 32-31 lead. Again, they won early this year back at Redbird Arena in January in Central Illinois, and looking for the season series sweep. Meanwhile, for Bradley, they're right in the thick of trying to make that run and get good position for Arch Madness in a couple of weeks. They had a good run to end the first half.
They did. They got right back in this ball game, and everybody got a chance to catch their breath. Let's see how Illinois State defensively matches up.
And misses on the wide open look from the corner. Reeves leading the way for the Redbirds with 10 points in the opening half. Nice little shake and bake by Strong. And Lewis will head to the free throw line.
They have a tradition here. They stand till Bradley scores in each half. We can't see.
I'm looking around. Folks, Arch Madness 2022 tips off, as we mentioned, March 3rd through the 6th. And the only place to celebrate before and after all the action at Enterprise Center is the MBC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village. For all you need to know about Fan Hangout, download the Arch Madness app today. And another foul on McChesney.
Yeah, he just got caught as the cutter was handing off. McChesney got caught on the backside, and then he bumped into Hickman. And that's 3 on McChesney.
Of a 9 and boy, he has struggled so far offensively today, but we know he can light it up in a snap of a finger.
Yeah, he can, and he was frustrated with himself that he didn't make the layup there. He knew the contact was coming, and he got hit and just couldn't quite get it up on the backboard.
They lay 88% from the free throw line this season. Helsinki, Finland. We're
beautiful.
Cap frequents.
Once. I was there one time, but it was awesome. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife and I are sitting at a cafe. It's still sunny out.
Beautiful.
Really good job by Hickman on Reeves. Really good.
Forced with the 3, and Lewis drains it. It's time winding down on the shot clock.
They took Reeves out of that, and boom. Good job to move the basketball.
Good ball rotation, and Roberts tries the answer. Masked with the offensive glass. Against Schmidt.
See the footwork, the ability to get us enough separation. He's going up against a 7-footer.
Fleming high off the glass. Every time there's a bucket by Bradley, it seems like ISU has an answer, Cap.
And quickly. It's not as though they have to run half-court sets and grind out a basket. They're quick.
Hickman lost the handle. Tries to get it back. And the jump ball call and the possession arrow to Illinois State.
Let's go back to Rink Mast. See him banging inside, doesn't go over the top. Good job. Now he's like, I got one-on-one matchup. Goodbye. And baby hook with the left hand.
Forced turnover, and Bradley giving Illinois State a little taste of their own medicine, because ISU's defense has really been playing well for the better part of this afternoon's matchup. A good D there by Bradley.
Right, Jones slammed that ball down. He was not happy.
Devanainen on the drive.
Gotta give him the foul there.
Fleming gets the foul.
There was no doubt about the foul.
That's the second on Howard. He's been also out there with 2 fouls. Keep an eye on that, especially with McChesney already on ISU's bench with 3. Mark Freeman going to give Fleming a break.
I would think that there will be tremendous interest in the Illinois State job. I think it's a great job.
Absolutely.
And you saw how many good seasons Dan Muller had there. But I would think there'll be sitting head coaches that'll go, Illinois State, I'm interested. Good town, good arena, good school. There's a lot to sell there. Great hustle play by Reeves.
And Tony with time running down, forced up. Now Roberts gets the rebound, and Lewis is going to be called for the reach around.
Yeah, it just the clock was running down. He had no choice.
You can feel the defensive intensity really picking up here in the second half for Brad.
You can. You feel like they're stalking that.
Yes.
Let's just get over the hump and take the lead, and we got it. But Illinois State not going away.
Powell turns the corner. Looks like Ari Boya is going to head to the free throw line.
Right, that's a design play. You don't call that out of a timeout, but 2 guys looking at each other. I'm going, Kuro, get to the rim. I'm putting it up there for you. And he got fouled.
You know, Bradley got off to that slow start during conference play, and one of the thought processes is you had so many of these new terrific talents that were coming in, the Leons and the Roberts, and it took a little time for them to gel with some of the guys that were already situated here in Brian Worrell's system.
Don't forget, you also, as you deal through COVID, Illinois State had to deal with this, where you can't even practice.
Right.
You got guys shut down, and when you get games postponed or canceled, it's not as though you can just, hey guys, want to get together in the gym? Got people in quarantine. It was different.
The Leons will head to the free throw line. .79% from the stripe this season. We're tied. 39-39 at the 16:26 mark of this second half.
Bradley crowd is into it. Great
defense by Howell. Yeah.
Great.
Freeman finally finds a little seam, can't finish. Braves trying to take the lead. Wide open, Leons. Rebound, Roberts, and a block. Holy cow!
That is getting up and meeting it at the summit. Kendall Lewis. That was criminal.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. This is going to be quite a ride in the final 15:32 here in Peoria. Braves and Redbirds here in Central Illinois.
Huh.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Get some cold.
Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Birds and Braves tied at 39. Time now for today's State Farm MVC Scholar Athlete of the Game. It is Bradley's soccer sophomore midfielder from Helsinki, Finland, Rasmus Schmitzlin. He has a 4.0 GPA in Management Information Systems with an emphasis in business analytics and is a two-time first-team MVC Scholar Athlete choice for surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's his name?
Cap, that is Management Information Systems with the emphasis on business analysis.
What's his name?
Rasmus Schmitzlin. You want to try it?
Nope.
You went to Helsinki. You should be a piece of cake for you.
Wow.
First lead for the Braves since the 13:41 mark of the first half. Their largest lead this afternoon was 4 points back in the 17-minute mark of the first half. How does Illinois State respond?
Spread the floor. Best way to a good perimeter look is through the interior. Penetrate, kick, feed the post and kick, or make a play.
Or just let Reeves take over.
There you go, kid.
He's a pretty good goal scorer, they tell me.
That was a big-time move. But long term, spread the court, get my shooter spotted up, penetrate, kick, feed the post, kick, refeed the post. You'll get stuff inside and out that way.
Roberts trying to dish to Boya. Andrews, who's just checked into the game, and that's Alston's first, sophomore from Detroit.
Yep, over the top,
yep.
No doubt.
Leon's. That's his second.
Malavai went over the top. He knew it right away.
So Braves going to pick up the defense here a little bit closer to the half-court line. Trying to force some turnovers. Strong from deep. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Wow, that was from Bloomington, brother.
That was. Holy smokes.
Leons will head back to the free throw line.
Good cut, good pass, but watch this three. Like, guys, I told you he could shoot it. We got to get out and get a hand on him. Where he is.
Redbirds 7 of 10 from beyond the arc this afternoon.
You can't count on shooting 70% from the arc. It just doesn't happen. So you're going to have to lock in defensively, and you've got to move the ball. Ball movement. You know, all the coaches are wearing all these casual gear now.
I know.
Started during COVID. Not our guy, Brian Wardle. Loved the red jacket. There he is. He's got the Bradley red blazer on. That guy was a whale of a player, that Marquette. Then coached at Green Bay and then made his way to Peoria. He's a really good dude.
Well, he did a heck of a job at Green Bay. Called some of their games when he was there before he moved on here to Bradley. I know I talked to retired Commissioner Doug Elgin when Bradley made the announcement. I said, let me tell you what, Doug, this is a huge hire for Bradley. Very impressive.
Really good.
And Freeman gets the turnover. That is turnover number 9 on ISU.
Well, now Terry Roberts gets to get a breather. Ari Boya has given Rink Mast a breather. This is a good lineup for Bradley right now. I like the lineup they have on the floor.
Montgomery, time winding down. Wide open look for Howell, and good hustle rebound by Montgomery. Kevin Heinen short on the attempt.
Yeah, I think it got tipped.
Now Reeves, and a battle on the weak side for the rebound, and it looks like Mikey Howell's going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, he knew he was in a tough battle for position, and he had his arms wrapped around the rebounder.
That's 2 quick ones on Mikey, and you can tell the Braves fans are not too happy about the call.
Correct, but if we can run it back again, you cannot use your hands from behind. If you get 2 hands on a guy, that's an automatic. You cannot put your hands, 2 hands in there like that. You're going to get called every time. It is a rule in the book, and if the official doesn't call it, he's getting a call from his supervisor, J.D. Collins. Hey, what game are you watching? There's a rule. 2 hands on the defender, automatic whistle.
Reeves on the drive, and he travels. Brian Jones does not like the call. And with Mikey Howell getting those 2 quick fouls, Terry Roberts didn't probably get the breather as long as Brian Worrell had wanted that point.
Probably right. Brian Jones furious at the call. I'd get the ball to Rink Mast. I would get him more involved offensively.
Leons, back it in. Finds a seam at the baseline. Shot clock winding down. Hickman lost the handle. Forces it up. Leons gets the offensive rebound. Second chance points. Roberts is fouled. 10 of the 12 second half points for Bradley have come from the charity strike.
Yeah, that gets strong here. He got caught on the side of the attacking Terry Roberts. Really not much he could do. Once Roberts turns that corner with his speed, not much you can do other than foul there.
Ryan Schmidt checking back in for the Redbirds.
I would get the ball inside the Rink Mast and let him operate.
Two free throws have given Bradley the lead back. Freeman being chased. Lewis double team. Freeman leans in. And Schmidt comes away with the loose ball.
Good job by Freeman.
Yep.
Recovered.
Freeman on Hickman. And Mark Freeman will head to the free throw line. 11 of 42 remaining in our second half of our Valley Game of the Week.
I'll pick this one up. I earn 3% cash back on dining, including takeout with Chase Freedom Unlimited. So, it's not a problem at all. You guys aren't gonna give me the fake bill fight?
Come on, Kev. You're earning 3% cash back.
Humor me.
Where is my wallet? Where is my wallet? When I gave it to you. What is this? Oh, nope, that's not it either.
No, stop. I insist. That was good, though.
Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
Get crackin' and feel unbeatable with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. Bacon and cheddar or egg white and veggie. Made with cage-free eggs and packed with protein. Take on the day with new omelet bites from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman, and our entire crew from Peoria, our Valley Game of the Week. Braves holding a 1-point lead at 45-44 as we have just 1 week remaining in the Valley. We take a look at the scores already in the Missouri Valley Conference. It's brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Southern Illinois with another victory after knocking off Bradley on Tuesday at home. They knock off Indiana State 76-72. Some big games coming up. Drake and Loyola, a huge one tonight, and then a really big one tomorrow as Missouri State, Northern Iowa, just that half game as we showed the standings early in the first half behind the Ramblers.
Right, you'll know if Loyola won again. They're a really, really good basketball team. And Valparaiso, who almost beat Loyola the other night, almost beat him in Chicago, lost double overtime. They have a lead on the road today. That foul the last time was on Hickman. Just a tough situation when you got a defender trying to stay with a guard who's dribbling downhill. He's got all the momentum, and he got caught on the side.
Freeman, an 89% free throw shooter, just makes 1 of 2 to tie the score.
Right, he just bounced it home.
Mast posting up, finds Leons on the cut.
Really good cut, really, really good pass.
Leons has had a huge second half. Reeves spots up. That's only the 4th miss for a 3. Mast running the floor, and Strong doing a nice job getting back on defense to stop the easy 2.
Let's go back to Rink Mast. He's just become a real factor because he is so good as a passer out of the post. You're thinking, all right, this guy has scored, showed good footwork. Oh, quick dish. Malavai makes the cut, gets the easy douche.
So McChesney checking back in for Coach Jones and the Redbirds. And for McChesney, remember, he has 3 fouls as he collects the miss.
Mast is 6'9", 240, and just a sophomore. And the jump he made from a year ago to now, eye-popping. You imagine what he's going to be in 2 years?
Look at how his body just developed alone.
If he wants everything else to make money at this game, get in the gym all summer, weight lift, eat, get yourself ready, he has a future.
Reeves just so smooth. Roberts right back in your face.
Well, he did a really good job at letting the defender fly by. Just wait, Reeves goes by, easy lay-in.
Try to get that dribble drive, does. Not much room. Shot clock winding down. Strong block by Mast. Here come the Braves. Mast at the other end.
Told you that kid was going to be a force the rest of the way. I think Illinois State's in some trouble here. They're gassed.
Braves with an 11-3 run right now and have their largest lead of the afternoon against their rivals, the Illinois State Redbirds. Folks, download the Arch Madness app presented by Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters, the app has all the information you need to know about the tournament schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Download the app on your Android or iOS device today. Well, Cap, Coach Jones definitely had to call that timeout with this 11-3 run by Bradley. And that defense, as we mentioned, for Bradley really has picked things up here in the second half, and Illinois State's defense not free-flowing as much as we saw in the first half.
No, I think they're just starting to get tired. I mean, going through a lot. The Dan Muller situation, the tough loss the other night, you're in a rivalry game, you're on the road, and you're grinding every possession.
Talk about emotions, wow.
Yeah.
A lot.
Jump ball, gotta be.
Yep. Boy, Leons and Mass not only doing it offensively, but defensively as well for Bradley.
And, 7-8 possessions ago, Hickman forced a jump ball, but it was possession Illinois State, and he was frustrated. I thought we were getting it. Well, by doing that play, led to this one to get possession back. Are they getting McChesney?
Yep. That is number 4 on Liam. So he has 4. Strong's out there with 3.
Paul Herzog, the great PA announcer here, just said Bradley line change. Like it was a hockey game. And this is Paul's final game. Number 660 he has called in his lengthy Bradley career. And he said, I picked 660 because I'm moving to Florida and Willie Mays hit 660 homers. He's my favorite player.
That's awesome. 44 points have been scored by Roberts, Mast, and Leons. 44 of the 54.
Ooh, Peoria police wanted to talk to somebody, but not me, thank God.
I thought you were getting arrested.
He's like, excuse me, I need to talk to you. But excuse me?
They finally caught you, Cap.
Not me. I didn't do it.
Had to blame it on the ref again, right?
Yes. Now, are they looking for a goaltend here?
Leon's whistle for the foul.
These are crucial free throws. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. Get a chance to reel them back in a little bit, catch your breath. Schmidt checks out. Schmidt from Van Meter, Iowa. You tell me the Baseball Hall of Famer from Van Meter, Iowa.
Well, you got me there.
That'd be Bob Feller. How about that?
Beautiful. Roberts leans in. By the way, Reeves with 16 points this afternoon so far. He has 15 games of at least 20 points scored for the Redbirds this season. And they're going to need him down the stretch to get back and try to come away with an upset win, as they have had a lead as big as 9 in that first half, but now it's the largest lead for Bradley at 7. Fleming with the rebound. And Howard hit the deck hard. It looks like he's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's on Ari Boyan, no doubt about it.
7:52 left in our second half. Terry Roberts and the Braves up by 7. 7-point lead for the Braves. 7:52 remaining in our Missouri Valley Conference game of the week from Central Illinois in Peoria.
Okay, now, I told you, when I coached, I thought every official was wrong on every call that went against us. Brian Wardle was very upset about this call. He said he went straight up. Watch this. This is Ari Boya. He comes over. That's a foul, 100 out of 100. And when Brian sits down tonight for a nice meal and he starts to go through the tape, he's going to be like, all right, I guess I was wrong. It just, in the emotion of the moment, you believe that every call goes against you.
Speaking from experience.
Yes.
.56-51 on the free throw makes by Fleming. Illinois State needs a stop. Boya. Fouled, and Ari will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he did a good job. He got the defender, Andrews, pinned on his back. And once he did that, there's nothing, you're either going to give up the basket or you're going to foul.
Folks, our final MVC TV Network production of the year will be Wednesday, February 23rd. Be in Terre Haute as the Indiana State Sycamores take on the Northern Iowa Panthers. Our coverage gets underway at 6 Central Time.
So just like a stop. 2 missed free throws, a 5-point game, you're right there. I would think Mast will be back in shortly.
Redbirds 7 of 12 from beyond the arc. Time winding down. You know, I don't think Fleming realized how much time was left on that shot clock there.
He did not, and I believe it was Freeman who said, hey, shot clock. And then he just jacked it up. He didn't really have a choice. Yep, Mast back in the game. Let's see what type of a factor he is now.
Howell with the easy lay-in, and for Illinois State, you've seen way too many of those easy lay-ins here in the second half.
But who set it up? Pass to Mast. He dishes, and then he creates traffic without setting an illegal screen. Easy layup.
Reeves in and out. Mast from the outside. And we got a push off on the rebound on Bradley.
Well, watch the last Braves basket and watch what Mast does. Now, it's not going to show up in the box score. He just creates enough traffic. Bam! I get myself to the backboard for an easy layup. But the coach's chart for plus minus, you'll get a gold star.
Offensive rebound by Andrews. Battle for it underneath, and here come the Braves. A 3-on-1. Howe, Leons lays it in. 9-point lead for Bradley at 60-51.
Yeah, they're stalking them now. They feel like, hey, we got something cooking, we can put them away.
Fleming lost the handle. Couldn't get it to Andrews, and now a foul is called.
Watch the run out. So, as you called it, a 3-on-1. You could dish behind you. You could dish to the right. You could take it yourself. Spread the court. We call that the line of truth, moment of truth. At what point am I going to charge? When do I make the pass? You've got to have perceptiveness, and he did a great job at making that pass properly. Mikey Hall. Easy setup for an easy basket for Malavai.
Kevin Iden with the free throw. He just has 5 points this afternoon.
But he's still a factor. He caused the foul at one end. He does sets a screen here. Sometimes he needs to score, sometimes he doesn't. All of a sudden, it's an 11-point game.
Biggest lead of the afternoon for the Braves. And the Redbirds call a timeout.
You could see this coming 6-7 minutes ago. You could feel like everything was changing.
30-second timeout taken by Brian Jones. Well, let's get to our play of this afternoon's game, and it's your guy, Rick Mast. He has come to play today.
He has come to play. Does a really good job on the defensive end. Get it out of here, and then let the big fella eat. Bam! Finish. Man, I would love to be able to do that just one time.
I don't think it's going to happen. I hate to give you the bad news.
I don't think it is.
So would I, but it was never going to happen even back in my prime.
Look, I'm the most optimistic guy in the world. Oh, the place is burning. We'll be okay. There is no optimism needed to tell you that I will never do that.
What if we got you a trampoline? You think you'd be able to do it there?
I just don't know how it would end on the land.
Keep the ambulance ready. The paramedics.
That guy down on the ground. He tried to dunk off the mini train. Bradley over the last 30 days, 7-2.
That is following the loss to Illinois State, what they have done.
7 out of 9. They've got a double-digit lead here. If they get to 8 out of 10, I mean, that's how you want to be playing as you turn toward March.
A lot of teams out there that are battling amongst especially the top 5, and
travel.
That's a travel. A lot of teams are scared of this team right here in Peoria. Again, just like you said, the way they've played here in the last month. Very scary, very dangerous.
So they guard, they have size, they can make shots. They've got a lot of the components needed to be a darling in March.
Roberts cut off. Freeman pushing it up. Reeves, what a crossover, wow.
Yeah, and they're going to get Mikey Howell.
All right, so as we mentioned, we head down to the final week of the regular season. These are the top 5 teams, and you see the Ramblers, we mentioned, have that game at Drake, and of course a big matchup with Northern Iowa to wrap up the regular season on February 26th.
Some great matchups. I can't wait to watch the Loyola game tonight with Drake.
Yes.
And then tomorrow to be on my couch for the Northern Iowa game. This is when college basketball, football's in the rearview mirror. We love that. Love football, but boy, oh boy, is this fun to watch.
Yeah. February 23rd at Missouri State against these Bradley Braves.
Another good one.
I was at Missouri State on Tuesday, Cap. I think I might have told you this earlier. Gabe Prim had 32, and he was fouled over 20 times. And I think he was, 18 of 19 from the free throw line. It was like hack-a-shack. He never missed a free throw except for once. It was impressive.
That's where that practice pays off.
Freeman has his shot blocked by Roberts. And we get a foul call. It's going to be on Connor Hickman, the freshman. You think of the tale of two halves. When we sit and really think about this game with Bradley, I mean, they just couldn't get into any rhythm offensively. And I think you credit Illinois State and their stifling defense, but even their defense just seemed to be off. And I don't know what Brian Worrell said at the half, but this is a completely different looking team here in the second half.
It is, and I think it started with about 16 minutes gone in the first half when we saw Bradley. I think they were down 9. Illinois State had a free throw, could have gone to 10, 31 to 21, something like that, and they missed. And then Bradley got a
8-0 run.
8-0 run. They were better defensively. Illinois State looked a little tired, and then Bradley really got off to a good start in the second half, and that's why here we are. They have a 7-point lead with the ball.
Mast wide open.
Slip the screen. Roll to the hoop. You better find your big guy. Rink Mast has been a real factor here in the second half.
Schmidt with the follow.
Well, good job by Schmidt.
Timeout, Bradley. Rink Mast, the sophomore from the Netherlands. Have yourself an afternoon, big boy.
We love our new apartment,
Great kitchen, open floor plan.
but there's not much privacy. At least Geico makes bundling our renters and car insurance easy.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Why is it so funny? If you think you'll never find the car or truck you really want, think again. We'll find it so you can drive it at every Uptrain Auto Group dealer. New inventory is in stock, inbound, and arriving every day. That's right, the pipeline is loaded with incoming inventory at every Uptrain location. Hundreds of customers have reserved theirs, and so can you. And this month, your tax refund is your down payment. Plus, lock in your record low interest rate and get more for your trade. It's easy to find it and drive it at every Uptrain Auto Group dealer.
Heading down the stretch here in Peoria in our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman as the Braves hold the 7-point lead at the 3:29 mark of our second 20 minutes of play. And for Illinois State, not only getting defensive stops, but here's my question, Coach Cap, is you've had a lot of success shooting 50% from beyond the arc. You already go to the three-point shot even though you're down by single digits with 3:29 left?
I continue to just run my offense, see what I can get going to the basket, and have my shooters on the wing. Penetrate, feed the post. I'm going to take what the game has given me. There's a ton of time left.
Terrific ball rotation on this possession by Bradley. Shot clock is winding down. Mast again.
I mean, how many times are you going to let him slip that screen, roll to the basket, and everyone has their head turned?
Good cut to the glass. Fleming can't get the finish.
Got to make that shot.
Roberts tries to turn the corner, and the jump ball call is called. Brian Wardle wanted a foul. Possession arrow does favor the Braves.
Brian Wardle is yelling. That's a bear hug. It looked to me like it was the two guys scrapping for the ball.
If Mast would have made that three, I think the roof would have been blown off of Carver Arena.
Yes. Got a good look.
Antonio, beautiful. He is just so smooth when driving to the hole.
That's a score. They've done a really good job on him. They're just not going to hold him down all the time.
Just contain him. You can't stop him, right?
That's it. Dan Patrick.
I thought that was going to go to Mast initially.
So did I for another dunk.
Under 2 minutes. Redbirds down by 9. 3 ball by Strong.
Just what they needed. 2-possession game.
Now you got to get a stop. And Bradley calls another timeout with 1:21 remaining.
Well, they get Strong a good, clean look. Again, where does it come from? Through the interior. Make the extra pass, get it to a shooter, and then let him do what he does best. Square up, bury it. And you do not need a 3 unless it's the right 3 if you get a stop here. Get a stop, come back down, attack, either kick, get a lay-in. You make it the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Braves shooting 44% from the field in the second half, comparatively speaking to 39 in the opening 20 minutes.
And they are 14-1 when they lead with 5 minutes or less to go. With 5 minutes on the clock, they're up. They're almost a lock to win.
Wide open looks, but got to kill the clock with the 6-point lead. And the foul. That's going to be on Strong. 64 seconds left. Roberts, 68% from the free throw line this season.
Yeah, I think he may have banged knees. Let's see, he's up limping around. Tough kid. You know, I think maybe we're being told he tweaked his ankle by our great producer, Jeff.
Ow. Yikes.
That hurts. That will be sore in the morning when you wake up.
Now Braves going with a little full court pressure with the 8-point lead.
Yeah, it's a nuisance. It's not really there designed to steal. Just force you to work a little harder, take some time off.
Lewis wide open.
Great
Under a
pass.
6-point lead.
Great pass. No quitting these Redbirds, man.
And Leons hits the deck hard. And Leons has been perfect from the free throw line this afternoon.
Watch the slam at the other end. Just a really good job. Get the ball in the paint, run the base. 2 defenders converge on the ball. Somebody's got to be open, and they find it.
3-possession game, 71-64. Strong's got to get a shot off. He does. Off the mark. Reeves thought he saved it, didn't, out of bounds. Back the other way to Bradley.
Great effort. Now you got to foul quickly. Give it one pass for a steal, foul, force them to make free throws.
And the Bradley Braves, after sputtering through the better part of the opening 20 minutes, They're going to dribble this one out, pick up their 10th conference win and 16th overall as they return the favor to their I-74 series rivals, the Illinois State Redbirds, as they win it tonight by a score of 72-64.
Well, it's a rivalry game. Both teams accorded themselves very well. Tip your cap to Bradley. They did not play their best in the first half. I thought they were really good in the second half. And no quitting the Redbirds, man. They really worked hard.
They did.
I just thought the better team won today.
Let's get to our players of the game. A presentation of State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference for surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Brink Mast with the big 17 points, and of course, Antonio Reeves does hit the 20-point mark.
He does. They did a good job on him defensively, harassed him into 6 of 14 field goals. He made his free throws. Brink Mast, though, that guy's a load inside. They're going to have to deal with him for 2 more years.
Catman, enjoyed as always, man.
Always a lot of fun being with you, Scotty, my guy.
Again, next telecast comes your way on Wednesday from Terre Haute. Sycamore's Panthers. Our coverage gets underway at 6 Central Time. For Dave Kaplan, Jeff Graham, and our entire crew, I'm Scott Warman saying so long from Peoria. Braves over the Redbirds, 72-64.